the production of the Bible 4, clearly defining that a being of superior consciousness would logically have the function of evolving consciousnesses, and at this point it must be defined what would be the best method of elevating the consciousness of the conscious being. The act of defining the best path and demanding that path through imposed standards and torture factors to force the ideal path. This system would not generate a conscious form of being, but rather a servile or enslaved being, in which their decision or choice is overridden by the system of the strongest. We normally see this system widely in the social ways of countries, in which people must obey the rules, and if they do not, systems of pain and suffering occur that force the person to either follow the rules defined by the government or be placed on the margins of society or isolated from it, amidst systems that force the individual to obey the rules of the government. If we observe this way of managing consciousness, we can see that this factor tends to reduce the individual's consciousness in order to seek to be the consciousness of the dominant system. The other system is the way of living freely and your own choices. In this case, we have an improvement in your personal consciousness, but there is a problem in this case. It is possible to have your own rule of choices, as long as there is no individual who is against your rule of choices. If there is a difference, either one will try to supplant the other, or the other will determine the way. Thus, a homogeneity of choices is necessary for the system to function. But with the diversity of opinions and choices comes a variability that will generate the same political system we have today. And so we enter an impasse. How can we achieve homogeneity of choices so that a group can be homogeneous in its consciousness? The only possible way is to allow the group that remains in search of the mode of action of the higher consciousness to be observed in the diversity of consciousnesses. In this way, this group will be homogeneous in the logic of what is best, as the other group will tend towards destruction, since every path different from higher consciousness has its own destruction as its end. Then the consequence of the group that does not seek to adjust to higher consciousness is the return to non-existence.
Search for knowledge now. Mathematics, physics, archaeology, education, health, metaphysics, and much more. Go to Reformadores da Saúde and be surprised by the huge collection and many new features. Reformadores da Saúde, reforming health with love.